Hi, it's Greg from Currie Country Living. Trace and I head off into Winnipeg, the big city for us country folk, and take in the Winnipeg Comic Con. Our oldest son, Justin, is a digital artist. He has also done some writing, and he has set up a booth there. We're going to talk to him and 4 other people that have set up at the Comic Con, many of who are co-workers of Justin, and see what it's all about. Have a look. So I would ask you to introduce yourself, but it seems a little silly. But this is my oldest son, Justin, second oldest in the family of 6, and we're at Winnipeg at the Comic Con. And Justin, maybe explain to everybody what's going on.
So, we're at the Comic-Con, which happens, almost every major city has a Comic-Con, and it's a big get-together of artists and exhibitors and celebrity guests, and there's workshops and programming and all kinds of things. And I'm in the Artist Alley, where any artist, regardless of skill level, can buy a table and showcase their art, which I've been doing since 2008 now. So I started off 2008 around the same area, $25 for half a table. I shared it with a friend, and yeah, now tables I think are getting close to 375, something like that. And
the con is growing.
The con has grown quite a bit, yes.
Yeah. So what kind of stuff do you have here?
So I have self-published books, I have canvases, I have prints, and it's my local show. My studio is about 4 blocks away, so I get to bring everything.
Without putting it on an airplane.
Without putting it on an airplane, yes. And I'm also the sponsor for the volunteers lanyards at the show as well. So every single volunteer has a Chasingartwork lanyard.
Yeah. So,
and they're the only ones here because all the other badges are on a truck somewhere that's delayed.
And are they expected to show up?
They should show up eventually, yeah. So.
Yeah, and you guys have got, there's a lot of people that you worked with before, like we have Greg over on the one side and Sam behind us, and so like it's like in sports, this is like home ice for you, I guess.
A lot of co-workers, yeah, a lot of people we see on the road in other cities, but yeah, it's always nice to be at the hometown show where you can bring everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Anything else I should be asking, Mom?
Nope. Have a great show. Woohoo!
So the last time that we really met, I think, was in Halifax.
That's right, in 2019.
2019, pre-COVID, and a lot has happened. So first of all, introduce yourself and what you do and what we have here.
Okay. Hi, my name is Sam Bieko. This is me. I write young adult fantasy novels, so that's for kids ages 12 and up. I'm also a comic artist, so I create a graphic novel based on a webcomic called Krampus is My Boyfriend.
Yes.
I do the art and the writing. It's very exhausting, but it's a lot of fun.
And things have even got more exhausting because you're a new mom now.
That's right.
Not so much new, but you.
No, but now that we've all emerged from the pandemic chrysalis, I do have a fully formed extra human being in my home. It's wild. It is kind of, at least I have all of this project management experience under my belt because that has helped me make the adjustment to that big life. You guys have a big family, you know what it is. But yeah, I've only started doing conventions this year since having him. This is my second one, and it's mostly just trying to get everything done and being able to just get out of the house and have someone looking after him. And it's taxing, but it's a lot of fun. And hopefully he grows up and he wants to read this or write this. So, and I can help him with that. But he's 2, so he's just working on getting up the stairs.
Yeah. Well, no, and that's great. But so, like, how do you work that while you have a young child in the house? Do you do a lot of stuff when he's sleeping, or do you do?
I have a nanny, so I'm very privileged. I have in-home childcare because I actually have a full-time job on top of this. So I work from home already.
Wow.
I do that job. I do this. I'm working on a brand new novel that's coming out. It's actually done. It's coming out in April with my publisher, but that's one of 5, so I've got to write 4 more. It's just, you try and steal time, because as you know, you can't really make it. You have to just say, I'm going to take 15 minutes here and 20 minutes there, and you're just, your brain is always on.
Are you allowed to tell me what the name of the novel is? Or the
Yes, it's called The Stars of Mount Quix.
Okay.
It's, like I said, a first in a series of 5. It's also young adult. It's a little bit quieter than my high-octane super fantasy over here. It's monsters, magic, in a completely made-up world. So I'm pretty excited.
You are looking absolutely fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Well, you are, like, for a young mom and doing all the things that you're doing, and
it's just sheer force of will and spite.
Well,
I swear that's what keeps me going.
yeah. Well, thanks very much for talking to me.
Yeah, anytime.
Right on.
I'm GMB Chomichuk, and welcome to my, I am a purveyor of fine, strange things, is the best way to put it. I write for some illustrators, I illustrate for some writers, and I write and illustrate my own stuff. And as you well know, once in a while your son lets me hang out with him.
You, and I'll say this up front, when Justin came into the city.
One Gregory to another.
Yeah, one Gregory to another. That's what the GM B, sorry.
Yeah.
We'll edit that out. Maybe. When Justin moved into the city, country boy, I'd say fairly naive would probably be the word that I would put it.
Brave, that's the word I use.
Brave?
Yeah, brave.
He surrounded himself with some great people, and we've always appreciated everything that you've done and helped Justin along and everything. So, but getting back to that, that's not what I want to talk to you. I don't care about your art. You've got a beer out. You've got a label on a beer.
It's true. Comic-Con asked me to come up with a concept for their new official beer, their pale ale, and the idea we had was twofold.
Yep.
We wanted to be able to make a nod to the guest, Bruce Campbell, but Bruce doesn't really like it if people use his likeness.
Okay.
Right? And so I said, why don't we make Chainsaw Hands? So the people who know will know. And then I invented this little character, Pumpkin Seed. And the idea is every year Pumpkin Seed can grow anew with a new feature from one of the guests that we can use as the beer label.
Wow.
So that was the idea.
A lot of thought going into that. So I know Justin had done something similar too, but the beer tasted like shit. What do you have to say about this?
I haven't tasted it myself, so only Justin will be able to tell me if the beer is good or bad.
Okay, well I can let you know.
Can you?
I think I'm going to try that.
Which of you has a more refined palate, would you say?
Well, I'm 60 years old and he's only 36, so I think I have more beer under my belt.
More experience.
But that doesn't necessarily mean I'm a better judge. So maybe later when I'm trying some of this beer, I'll try and be what's the word? Non-bias when I have it, and we'll let.
We could do a blind taste test.
That's a hell of an idea,
right?
Yeah. But anyway, the artwork is great on the beer, so that should sell it all by itself.
Well, you can judge a beer by its cover. I'm not sure if that's how it works.
Isn't that how marketing works?
I guess it
really?
does.
Isn't that how?
Well, one of the shameless self-promotion things that I convinced them to do also at the show was to provide a free copy of a poster for this that I would sign for anyone who bought the beer, so that if the beer was no good and they liked the art, they would at least have something to remember.
So I can get a signed copy?
Right. As far as I know, the beer is delicious. Okay. This is what I've heard.
We'll try
So we're going here live.
Yeah.
So I went over there.
This is the follow-up.
This is the follow-up to what we were talking
Yes.
about. So I went over there to get a beer, and
Yes.
they said, nope, you got to go get a ticket. So I spent 10 minutes going through that long lineup because I really wanted to try this beer. And the report is it's a good beer.
Oh, phew. I was so nervous at what the punchline was about to be.
Nope. It's a good beer. It's actually it's a little bit not stouty, but it's got a very distinct taste to it. So
Did you hear that, Justin?
a good beer. So tell me, is it the same deal? Because I made this mistake. I said,
Right.
oh, my son Justin did the beer for the same place. He goes, what's your son's name? And I said,
Yes, I don't think...
Canada is a different company than Half Pints.
Yes. Very different.
So is it the same deal? Like they're supporting an artist by you get a sale, you get a commission?
So different for me because I made a deal with the convention to design a mascot that we could use multiple times. So the character Pumpkin Seed, right, can appear. So the beer is called Chainsaw Hand because this time Pumpkin Seed is representing Bruce Campbell. Ash from the Evil Dead had the chainsaw hand. next year, whoever the featured guest is, pumpkin seed will grow anew and be different as a result, so we can use it each time. Yeah.
Well, and that's
so we have a different arrangement.
And this is where I pick up a lot of this stuff when you guys are doing your podcast and stuff, which new artists or people that are getting into this should be listening to, because you guys have all these different ways to approach commission. Super pulp. Yeah. But no, and actually that's why, because Justin has said more than once, he says, I wish we would have had something like this before.
You know, that's it exactly. If you're starting, you feel alone, underprepared, right? Undervalued, and just hearing that other people feel alone, underprepared and undervalued is enough to be like, okay, this is normal.
Yeah.
And then move past that.
And then all the little tips and tricks that you guys have picked up all along the way is
we do our best.
Yeah.
We do our best.
So, right on. You've been very busy, because I know I've been waiting, going a couple of times, but I won't bother you anymore. And
Anytime.
this is
favorite Comic-Con.
Yeah, Greg and Greg saying.
What are we saying?
What do you usually say at the end of your podcast?
Join the fight and make comics.
Perfect.
We'll try it over. So it's nice to see things opening up a little bit and the con happening in Winnipeg again. And
It feels so good.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
And there's so many of our friends and like convention family are just like within meters of me right now that it just makes my heart full.
Yeah. No, that's great. Well, thanks very much.
Talk a little bit about your art. What do you have at your table?
Oh, well, my work is a Venn diagram where 30s pulps, 40s propaganda, and 60s style guides all overlap. And I have, in the last 6 months, got 4 brand new single issue comics out, and we're kickstarting another one called The She-Wolf. So tons of new stuff for people, and I can't wait to see their reaction to it. This will be the first time Winnipeg has seen these books, so it's a bit of an experiment for me. We'll see.
And I know about some of this stuff because I listen to your podcast. So maybe give your podcast a little bit of a plug here.
Well, if you want to know how we do this for a living, or how dare we do this for a living, I would say Super Pulp Science is the thing to check out.
Right on. Right on. Well, thanks, Greg. So here we have someone else that's involved with the Comic-Con. I'll let you introduce yourself and what we have behind us.
Yeah, I'm Jonathan Ball, and I am the writer of The Eye Collector, a comic that we were doing with Heavy Metal. My partner in crime over here, GMB Chomichuk, did the art for it.
Great.
And Lyndon Radchenka, who's elsewhere at the con here, was the letterer.
So, and we were talking a little bit earlier, Jonathan, like you're not originally from Winnipeg, and you have quite a similar story to Justin as far as growing up in a small town. And so maybe explain some of the opportunities that you had to do to get where you are now. Like, you make a living at this, like you are a full-fledged writer.
Yeah, I'm a full-fledged writer, so I do a lot of freelance work as well. You know, I think for a lot of writers, the important thing is just understand that in addition to making cool, crazy things and it being art, you're also a business, right? So you have to have like a little bit of a business hat. You got to have your income streams. I got my comics. I got working, doing freelance writing, editing. I do a bunch of different things, but I try to also, you got to remember that your core business is what you own.
Yeah.
And so, even though Heavy Metal is publishing this comic, like this is a creator-owned comic that me and Gregory are partners in, and we have the rights to it all,
Yeah.
So it's, the thing I'm here for mostly.
Well, and I know, I listened to the podcast, the Super Pulp Fiction, and you guys talk a lot about the mechanics behind being a comic writer or a writer, an artist, all that kind of stuff, and how it works. So,
yeah, well, like you were saying, like I grew up in a small town, like Justin did, and so, there's just also when I grew up was kind of originally it was before the internet. I like to say, right?
Yeah.
And so, eventually the internet comes, and you can kind of get connected with people and your world widens a bit.
Yep.
Like when I was growing up, there's nobody who did this stuff. Nobody, you can't even find a writer, Like I had a town of 100 people, like there's no writers.
Yeah.
And so, it was all mystifying. And so what I think is really important now that I'm, older, even though there's almost the reverse problem, you got too much information around, so how do you figure out what is worth paying attention to?
Exactly.
So I think it's really important to just kind of talk about the logistics of how you have a creative career and how you stay relevant, or just even how do you keep doing it when there's so much you could be doing. You got to focus.
Yeah. And I know on the podcast you guys banter about that back and forth all the time. One of the things this is the first time we met, and I said I liked your automatic because you swear. We won't swear that much on here, but no, it like, you know, like when you guys start talking, you just kind of, you're comfortable, and it's just like talking over a beer or whatever. So
yeah, well, you know, for good or ill, I'm my boss, so you know, no one's gonna fire me. That's what I like to say about being a writer is like one thing you can, if you're a writer, nobody can fire you. So you may not be making any money, but no one can fire you, and no one can make you quit.
No, so
but, you know, you can swear if you want.
Yeah. So anyways, you have a great show. I know things are going to open up here probably in about half an hour or so, and thanks very much for talking to me.
Thank you.
Right on. So we're at the Winnipeg Comic Con, and we were just walking around while some of the exhibitors were setting up, and we came by your site. Maybe introduce yourself and tell me what this is all about, because I did not know, and then we got talking. I was really excited.
My name's Fabio Fiorentino. I am the owner of Case Closed. So basically, I started during COVID. I'm a collector, so I needed a way to protect my investments. Yeah. So I design, manufacture, press fit acrylic cases.
Okay.
And that's basically the shtick.
And my interest came when we were going by, and I'm trying to think. Okay, so case closed, and I'm thinking like some sort of, you know, like a lawyer's story or something along that line.
Sure.
And then we started looking at some of your stuff, and all of a sudden it twigged. And I told you I've got my grandmother has a fur coat that my mother turned into 4 teddy bears. And they're about this big in that, and this is something that you can help me with, I believe.
Absolutely.
So basically the product that you're selling protects any kind of product that people want to protect.
Yeah, so it's not like, you know, waterproof and stuff like that, but it's water resistant. It's UV protected. You know, it's if you want to stack things, at least keeps it from compressing and damaging the exterior. So it's just all those kind of things that you're looking for. If it falls, the acrylic takes the brunt of the hit.
If you got small kids with greasy fingers.
Yeah, exactly. It's easy to wipe away, right? Stuff like that. So yeah, I'm actually excited to do that for you, and I hopefully we can get that done. But you know, as long as I get dimensions, I'm more than willing to give anything a try.
Well, I've got your card, and the first thing I'm going to do when I go home is get that teddy bear out and measure.
Get that measurement, and that's perfect, and that's all we need to do is just get those measurements. Then I design it up. I get a test cut made. I make sure it all fits properly. And
how'd you get into this?
I honestly don't know. No, like I said, I'm a collector too, right? Yeah. So I've collected Pokemon. I love sports, so I have a lot of sports memorabilia. And I was just like looking at what was available online. I'm like, there's got to be a cheaper way.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not my primary business, so I have that, you know, kind of luxury, I would say, and fortunate that way. So just want to be able to provide people with something that can, you know, help them display and protect their stuff, and at a fair price.
Yeah. And you were saying a lot of your business is in the States.
Yes.
So, like, you'll ship out and you have we'll get all the information as far as all the social media and
sure.
And
I've shipped to Asia, to the UK, to Australia, but I do most of my stuff in the States. It's just, you know, when you're a niche of a niche, it's you just got to go by volume, and America's, you know.
What's the most interesting one you've made? You get some weird.
Ooh, most interesting.
Putting you on the spot now.
Honestly, most people don't tell me what necessarily they need. They just give me the dimensions for things. So I'm sure there's some really unique stuff, but like to yours, it's very unique and sentimental to you. So I mean, I would say that kind of stuff is the coolest.
Well, it's something that I've always wanted to display, but I've never wanted to put out because, you know, I didn't want to get it dusty, and I just had no way to kind of display it. So people don't go, what's with the teddy bear in the, you know, in the case?
Yeah.
And so, but anyways, thank you very much for talking.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate that.
Yeah, right on.
Thank you. So we are standing in front of the Trans-Canada Brewery Company. There was a little bit of a screw up because I had to go back and get some tickets. I had to go through like a 10-minute line to get tickets. So hopefully I'll get this right this time. So, and we'll talk to the gentleman about how beer sales are going. And so, beer at a Winnipeg Comic Con. All right.
You made it.
I did.
All right.
So there's 2 tickets. I'll take 2 beer for now. And how are beer sales been going?
Oh, it's running off the charts.
What can you tell me about the beer?
I can tell you that it's a custom beer that we brewed, real small batch.
Yeah.
It's a pale ale, a little bit hop forward, citrus balance, Just a crisp, refreshing beer.
Right on. I look forward to trying it.
All right. There you are, my friends.
Perfect.
Did you want the custom drink as well?
You know what? I've got one from them already, so I'm in good shape. So thanks.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, so now we're going to go over to Greg Chomichuk. I don't want to try this beer until I actually get in front of Greg and try it for the first time. So just come with me and we'll follow. So I'll maybe drink this beer while he's in the background. If you go to the other side here, Trace, and then we'll see just how this artwork. Can you see the artwork here? We have the artist who did the artwork in this behind us in the background, working at Comic-Con, and I'm about to try the beer for the first time. So here we go. It's a stronger tasting beer. It's smooth. It went down nice. It's cold. It's always good to have a cold beer. And as you can see, the artist in the background would have nothing to do with the taste of the beer, but he did have a lot to do with how the can looks from the inside. So.
All right.
So Greg, you're busy. Well done, Greg. I know you can't pay attention because you're making sales right now, but well done. And this other beer we're going to take to Darcy. Okay. So what the hear you. So I've already tried this beer, and I've got my opinion. I already stated it. So if you want to give it a taste, and see what you think. You know, and it's very, it's got a strong taste to it. The artwork, because I know the guy, the artwork is shit though, eh?
It's really disappointing.
Yeah.
He gives you a free poster there too.
Yeah, you get a free poster with everyone. So, but yeah. So, anyways, I think the beer gets a pass. Okay, the artwork, of course, we know is quite well done. The guy has some talent. So, anyways.
I mean, I'll drink it.
Oh no, I'll drink this too. All right, thanks for talking to me. Cheers.
Soon. They've had a great and slightly overwhelming experience at the Comic-Con. So much to see and look at.
It's hard to keep track of your kids, isn't it, Jenny?
One at a time is fine. Two at a time is trickier. We did it though. Where did I put Sadie's? No, do not open this, Carol. This is for the bathtub, right? We don't open them right now. Let's look at it. Okay, so no opening.
Well, thanks for watching that video, and if you gathered any useful information out of it, consider giving me a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel, or my favorite, I'd like to engage in the comments below. Have you been to a Comic-Con in a different city? They have them all over North America and the world. What are some of the favorite things that you like to see? Do you engage yourself with the artists? I know most of the artists just love to be engaged, talking about their work, talking about what their passion is. In any case, we'll talk to you next time. As always, stay safe